Heavy is the head that has to manage all of this.
Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel.
We're now incentivized to buy what we already buy.
Fumbling through college had me building.
I also got some done on the other side.
And that was right around, I would say, May, maybe, right before renewing the lease for this property. Welcome to the channel, Martha.
Thank you for having me here.
Oh, I was going to say, I am getting up there in age, I'll tell you what.
Bills paid by other people, life was never this good. I had to step back, knowing that it's...
The government wants you to be broke, and it seems like a lot of people actually want to be broke right along with the government because the government is in a massive amount of debt, as everyone should know. Here are the top 3 reasons on how, or the top 3 ways, I should say, on how the government keeps people in debt. Number 1, and most important, is going to be student loans. Student loans are the number 1 way that the government keeps people in debt. And because of student loans, it's actually their number 1 business maker. And so getting rid of student loans and eradicating student loans would literally put the U.S. government in a worse financial position. Can you imagine that? And it would also increase inflation as well, because now people would have more money to spend. Therefore, they're going to spend it. It's not like everybody's just going to say, oh, because I'm out of student loans, I'm going to invest the difference. I'm going to start saving more than I've ever had before. No, they're going to spend money. That's what Americans do. We spend money. So with that being said, student loans are literally just going to lead to more debt for the average American. And because of that, there's going to be people who can't really afford to live life for real because they're so stuck. I remember being a mortgage broker at Chase Bank, and every student loan was froze for that time being. So people were able to afford houses that they really shouldn't have been able to afford because of their student loans. And now I wonder, what will you do? You still have the student loans. You now need to pay it. You never paid it off. And you have this big old house and this big old mortgage now. What do you do? It's insane. Now, with that being said, the second way that people stay in debt and how the government may even benefit from that in itself is going to be taxes. Now, a lot of people will be like, taxes? How does the government really benefit from our taxes? Well, you get a tax return every single year, upwards of $3,000. I believe the average tax return is like $3,500 or so. Well, if you're getting $3,500 back in taxes, that means you gave the government $3,500 for free all year to do whatever they wanted with. And they didn't pay any interest on it. Can you imagine that? You gave them a free loan, $3,500. Would you dig into your pocket today and give the government $3,500? Or can you even do that? Or did you already spend the money? You see, so this is what I'm talking about when we talk about financial literacy. If you're giving someone else $3,500 to spend on your behalf that you didn't need to live your life, that you didn't need to function as a human being and an adult for a whole 12 months, why is the money now gone? Why weren't you able to invest and save that same money that you handed to the government? You're the same people that will tell me that you're broke, the same people that will tell me that you have no money, but you were able to give away $3,500 of free money to the government all year round. And once you got it back, all of a sudden, you needed that money. All of a sudden, you couldn't live the same life you was living for the last 11 months. All of a sudden, there's a change to how you need to operate now because you got a little increase in income. All of a sudden, you now need that money. You see, what I did with that money is you invest, you save. Or what you should do with the money is invest and save. The only reason I can get a tax break is if I write off things that I should be writing off in taxes. Not to have the IRS looking into me, so I'm going to just leave it at that. But Yeah, man. If all you're doing is taking the standard deduction, guess what? You're leaving money on the table, and you don't want to do the itemized deduction because you probably don't want the IRS to audit you. But keeping a long story short, if the government is giving you back money, it is because you've overpaid. You have overpaid, and that's that. Now that the government has finessed you with the student loans, and they've also finessed you with the taxes, how else are you getting finessed? Well, this one is not just the government now. This is just the banks in general, and that will be, I'm not even going to say car loans, but I'm going to just say credit card debt. The average American has $6,500 in credit card debt. $6,500. That means you probably at least have 2 credit cards with credit card debt on it. And the reason why I say that is because most people are not just going to carry $6,500 balances on one credit card. They probably already maxed out one that was like $1,500, maxed out another one for like $3,000, and then you probably maxed out another one for $1,500 or so, or $2,500 or so. So with that being said, it's safe to say that you probably have 2 maxed out credit cards to where you have a $6,500 balance due, maxed out with interest accruing. And, these are wealth killers. I had to graduate college. I don't really talk about this struggle much, but when I was in college, paying off my potential student loans, because I never actually took out a student loans, was very stressful. It took everything I had. I had no additional money left over after food, utilities, and my $450 to $600 a month rent payment. I can't remember what the price was to live in that box. But my senior year, yeah, I mean, that was very expensive. And I was taking summer classes, which cost me about $700 a piece. Whew, man, tough. But I say all that to say, like, if I didn't take that time, I would have been stuck in that for a long time, a very long time. Same thing that when it comes to like housing right now, like if you want to pay off a house, guess what? You can be tunnel vision like I was about my student loans and pay off that house. The average millionaire pays off their house in about seven and a half years, apparently. So if you want to pay off your house, you'll most likely do it within 7.5 years if you're an average millionaire. So again, this is all based on who you are as a person and what your financial picture should look like. But if you're the type of person who says, man, I'm never going to pay off my student loans, man, I'm never going to pay off my home, that would probably be the next thing that you say, because if you're never going to pay off the student loans, you probably see that 30-year mortgage as something that you're going to hold on forever. You're probably in your 30s or not even in your 30s, and you're like, whew, imagine having that for 30 years. That's insane. That's screaming, life sentence. And that's what a mortgage is, right? It's a life sentence. I believe it's a French word for like till death or something like that. So I completely understand if people have that mindset, because it is daunting. It is something that I've been biting at piece by piece, brick by brick, laying that down, that foundation, to where it becomes more manageable and it looks like a easier chunk to bite into. And so I say all this to say, like, sometimes everything doesn't have to be hit all at once. Start to attack these 3 major problems one at a time, very aggressively, so that you're out of the government's hands and the bank's hands, and you're living a life that is financially free. If you like this video, make sure you leave a like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. You know I post every single day at 8 a.m. daily on YouTube and on Rumble, and I can't wait to see you on the next one. Peace.